If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of Carmentary. Neil Hartmann here with you. Driving in my van, heading over the pass, going to get my spring water in Niseko. Today, I got an episode for you. I'm trying to wrap my head around this one. This one may be a little controversial. I might say things that a lot of people don't agree with. I might get stomped on in the comments. That's okay. That's fine. I may use a little profanity. I never use profanity in any of my YouTube videos. I'm like one of the most family-friendly guys out there. It hasn't gotten me anywhere. I think all the people who use more profanity on their YouTube videos do far better. I don't know what it is. Anyway, today, due to the topic and due to a certain phrase that I was thinking about, I have to use a little profanity. Forgive me. It's going to be another one of those kind of just talking about life in general and the situation here in Hokkaido. It is April the 29th, is that right? Yeah, it's a national holiday. It is Showa no Hi. It is the Showa Day here in Japan. It is the beginning of Golden Week. So Golden Week in Japan is one of the biggest holidays of the year. It is a massive celebration of spring, the beginning of the green season for lots and lots of businesses. Companies take off. It's a series of holidays that have all been kind of bunched up together to make like this one long holiday. Tomorrow and the next day, Thursday and Friday, are actually normal weekdays, but a lot of people in general will take those days off and then they'll string together this like Wednesday through next Monday kind of holiday. This year, it has been canceled. There ain't no Golden Week, folks. Not really. It's the holidays are still there. It's still a holiday, but it's like we're on permanent vacation now, right? We're on Corona vacation. National emergency in Japan continues and has been set to end on May the 6th, the same day that the Golden Week holiday is supposed to end. So basically, the government said, look, this is getting out of hand. We're getting more and more Corona cases all over the country, especially Tokyo, close to 4,000 now. And if they let loose everybody during this Golden Week holiday, I think they knew that all hell would break loose. Because Japanese people, they love their Golden Week. There's a Golden Week, and then there's a Silver Week in September, which is a more recent kind of holiday. Came about in the last 10 years. But those two are like, people like, they go traveling, they go for it, man. And it's a great holiday. I mean, you've got cherry blossoms blooming, in northern parts of Japan. You've got festivals that kick off. It's like everybody just sort of comes out of winter and they're like, yeah, Golden Week, baby! So government said, we can't have that happen. Everybody's going to go out there. They're going to be getting drunk under the cherry blossom trees. They're going to be sneezing on each other. They're going to be throwing their masks out in the air. Party, party. Hey, GoPro, I didn't tell you to stop. Let's start again here. On and on and on. Basically, they were really worried that the coronavirus would spread like crazy over this Golden Week. So, national emergency till May the 5th, and that's kind of where we are at right now. Here in Hokkaido, we went through like the soft lockdown, the volunteer kind of lockdown in March for a month. Then we were all kind of back to normal. Everybody started moving around again right around spring break. Business was kind of not back to normal, but it was moving. Kids went back to school for a week, and then boom, we were back on this new state of emergency, national state of emergency. School's out, kids are at home. And now businesses and services have really started to shut down. During the first, prefectural emergency in Hokkaido, seemed like businesses were kind of like, what? They were like, you're what? Like, it didn't really register. Everything was open. Now, hours have been shortened. The government made these official recommendations and requests to businesses, and just recently, right before Golden Week, they sent out a new thing and said, look, if you shut down your business during Golden Week, we will give you the equal of like $3,000 US. So if you have a small business, you have a ramen shop or whatever, if you're open, people are going to come. So they're like, look, we got to get everybody to shut down so that people really don't have anywhere to go. That's really how it works, right? Because if the temptation's out there, you're going to go. So they did that, and boom, like a lot of businesses, even in the little village where I live, they were all open right up until like the 25th. And then everybody put up the little paper sign, handwritten, said, we're closing for the Golden Week holiday. Sorry, folks. Come back later. And now I understand that's to get the $3,000, basically. And great idea, right? If the government can afford to do that, you got to get people to shut down and stop running their businesses and support them a little bit. I mean, $3,000 maybe, it could be equal to some businesses' profits during that week if they're a very small business, or it could just be a drop in the bucket for really big businesses. But regardless, it's something. So that's the situation we have right now. Places like Risutsu Resort, which in the winter is a big ski resort. In the summer, they have an amusement park with roller coaster rides and hotel and lots of activities. They were going to be open from Golden Week, and then they actually ran some TV commercials that I helped shoot and produce. And at the last minute, after running 18 commercials on one day, they suddenly said, okay, we can't do it. And they pulled the commercials. They announced that they're now going to open from June the 6th. So they've pushed that back like more than a month. So, yeah, it's very quiet, very, very quiet right now. Wherever you go, businesses are closed, people are staying home, or they're being very, very quiet about it. Jozanke, the village where I live, which is a resort town, 90% down from what they normally would be doing as far as the sheer number of people coming to stay in the hotels. I talked to the tourism agency and they were like, 90% down. So if there were 10,000 people normally, you get the point. Okay, so economically, very rough times globally. Bad news everywhere, bad news daily. I think now the feeling I'm getting talking to my family members and friends and people is that I think we've all reached a sort of, like a saturation point. Everybody's kind of attitude now is, it's hard to put it in words, but people have, I think we've all really saturated on the corona topic, and now it's just sort of like you zone out on it. It's on the news, you're getting hit with it constantly, but you're just like, okay, next. And I believe that's where we all are right now. Now, depending on what city you're in and what situation you're in, that's going to be, a different experience. But that's what it's feeling like over here right now. For me personally, this all started to percolate up in mid-January when, these news items were coming out. And it really peaked in early to mid-March for me. That was sort of my max saturation point. And it was kind of driving me crazy. I was really hating it. I didn't want to watch the news. I didn't even want to talk about it, but yet that was the only topic of conversation. Like anything you talk about, even now, it will always come back to Corona somehow. Like there is nothing that it doesn't relate to. Even like small talk, like the weather. Like usually when you don't want to talk about anything serious with someone, you're like, the weather's been pretty darn good recently. I love those blue skies. And here, I've mentioned it a couple times, the skies have been so beautiful and so clear this last month. And why is that? It's because the pollution levels coming out of China, where all our pollution comes from, are way down. So the skies have been, crystal clear. No haze, no smog. It's been great. So even talking about the weather, it ends up coming back to that. So it's real hard to avoid the topic. And I was getting to a point where I was, and this is where the profanity comes in, I was like, fuck Corona. Right? And I've seen that hashtag on Instagram. I'm sure if you Googled it, there'd be a million or more posts. I think it came from the one that's been around a long time, the fuck cancer hashtag. I see that a lot, and I understand that. People use it on Instagram a lot. When you have a friend or someone who dies of cancer, a lot of people post a picture of that person and blah, 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 fuck cancer. And, even though maybe you're not directly related, you're like, oh, man, yeah, fuck cancer. I mean, that's bad news. That's terrible. And so it's really easy to kind of do that. And it fits really well with what's going on right now. Fuck Corona, right? I get it. And I was in that kind of same feeling for quite a while there. Like, man, fuck this shit, But somewhere along the line, about 10 days ago, something flipped. Like a new circuit breaker was flipped in my brain. And I was able to get into a new space. And it just hit me. No, it's not fuck Corona. It's thank you, Corona. And this is where the controversial side of the program comes in. Because a lot of people are going to go, thank you, Corona? What are you talking about? You fucking idiot? There's people all over the world dying and suffering. The economy's been destroyed. We're right in the middle of the biggest disruption ever. And you're like, thank you, Corona? I understand. And especially if, I haven't known anyone indirectly or directly that has suffered from COVID-19. So maybe it'll change if something happens close to it. But right now, I'm kind of coming to grips with this new way of thinking about it. There's so much good stuff that can come out of this, and already is coming out of this. And I'm starting to see that on a personal level. And I'm wondering if other people are feeling that. And maybe this is the beginning of like a really, really big renaissance globally of great changes coming. I really hope so. So to that, I'm saying thank you, Corona, because this is like an incredible opportunity. And just for me in the last 10 days, I'll tell you what's happened. This whole stay home thing, even though I'm driving in my van in Niseko right now, so I'm not really 100% staying home. But for the last 10 days, I have been on an incredible cleaning mission. Things just started clicking. And it was right at the time when I changed my thinking from fuck Corona to thank you, Corona. It really was. Suddenly, sorry, my camera just turned off. So suddenly, opportunities just started appearing in front of my eyes. Family's all at home, so we all work together. And every day, we've got like a new mission, a new project. We're going to clean the office today. We're going to do the kitchen today. We're doing the living room. We did the bedroom. We did the downstairs. We did the downstairs office. We did my office space. I did the carport today. I did the garage. I did the outside. I did my storage space. Like, it's endless. And it's beautiful. Absolutely loving it. This never would have happened. Or it would have taken me 10 years. I realized today I have done 10 years worth of organizing, cleaning, sorting, repacking, whatever, in 10 days. Every day I've taken on a project that's at the scale of something you would do like once a year. Like you'd be like, all right, spring, I'm gonna clean out the garage, honey. don't come in there for the whole day. I'm gonna be cleaning the garage. I've done that every day for like 10 days. It's been a marathon. I've gotten so much done. Absolutely loving it. Another thing that happened, because there's no work coming in, new work. I've got some old work I'm cleaning up, but no new work. And there's nothing on the horizon, I'll tell you that. The phone ain't ringing, the emails aren't coming. Everybody is just sitting tight, waiting it out, right? I have lost all interest in work. This is amazing. Is this happening to anybody else? I'd like to know. Maybe that's being a little harsh. I have a little interest. Obviously, looking to the future, everybody's like, hey, I need a job. I need money. The bills are going to keep coming. When the money runs out in the bank account, there's going to be real trouble, and I might be the first one to say, fuck Corona. But right now, I've been given like this brilliant reprieve from all work-related thought. And I haven't felt that since I was like 17 years old, or maybe even younger. And that has been something to be really thankful for too. So I think you see where I'm getting with this, and I hope you take a minute or an hour or a day or a week or a month to try this out. Try the thank you technique. And just a little hint, and something else that maybe have a minute you can look into while you're on YouTube. I got the hint for this from a thing called Ho'oponopono. And it's something I've been kind of looking into over the last couple years, and just recently did a little bit of a deep dive and watched a whole bunch of videos about it. And that's what really kind of brought this thought on. It's an ancient Hawaiian technique that uses forgiveness. I won't go into the details because it's not my position to really talk about it. But if you have a chance, go out there, search for it, or maybe I'll put a video in the description, a link in the description of this video. Ho'oponopono. If you have a minute, read up on that. And then try to put that to work to what's going on right now. And I think you'll see your thought processes can change quite drastically. Okay? All right. Well, I hope that resonates with somebody. You never know. Good or bad, whatever your opinion is, please leave me a comment. A subscription to the channel would be greatly appreciated. And some likes, dislikes, whatever. It's all okay by me. All right, folks. See you back on the next episode, and I hope you enjoyed that. As always, drive safe.
If you like to drive around and talk about the latest happenings, this is the channel you need. So subscribe and follow Carmentary.